And welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing kind of like Not Dudes challenge of the top 5 well, he did Hoyas, top 5 Hoyas for the year of 2023, and this is going to be my first time doing this. So I'm actually going to be doing my top houseplants for the year of 2024. I'm starting in the beginning of the year, and I think he does it at the end of the year. So my goal is to do a check-in at the end of the year before 2025 and see how my plants have gone. So it's really hard to pick my favorite plants throughout the year, and which ones I would like to see the most growth, or which ones I feel like I have the most goals on a positive side note. So I did decide several houseplants in my collection that I feel I have more goals and I would love to see them thrive more. Like I have just, in general, more goals for them. So of course the first one on my list is my Alocasia fredda, variegated. This plant, I mean, just look at it. So this is the most recent leaf that it put out, and I know she's a freaking stunner. I mean, look at this leaf alone, okay? And I don't know if you guys can see, but she's already working on a brand new leaf. I swear, this was just a few days ago. So she's happy. She's extremely happy. And I know I've shown this plant over and over again. I just can't get over this plant, to be quite honest. That's just so freaking pretty. So, and she's having some more robust roots. If you guys can see, that goal that I had of just seeing more roots in here versus seeing, you know, the moss is definitely happening. So I feel like she's happier now that it has more roots than what she did before. So I'm pretty excited to just see this plant get really big. I know once it gets bigger, it's probably not going to be able to live in my cabinet anymore and I'll have to move her out. But that's something that we'll look at when we get there. But I really love to see just a big, really big leaf variegated Alocasia fredda. So that's why this one's on my list as my number 1 houseplant as of right now, because it has that beautiful variegation. She's just doing so much for me. I'm very happy I have this plant in my collection. The next plant I have on my list is a palea. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I've seen people pronounce it in different ways. But my variegated peppermoides palea. As you can see, she's a cute little stunner, very tiny. When I seen that there was a variegated version of it, I just had to have it. And this plant, I absolutely love because all of its leaves died back. I know I talked about this either in my plant tour or a house chores video. I'm not entirely sure, but I did mention this in one of my videos where it came during the summer and it stayed in the mailbox, and it basically got like heat damage on it, and all of the leaves you see on this cute little plant have all been regrown under my growth. So I'm very proud of this little tiny plant because it did not die. It pulled through under my care and she's just growing. And it makes me so happy. And then, isn't that leaf so pretty? It's the one with the most variegation. All the other ones just kind of have like the cute little splash variegation on the leaves. You guys can see. I think this is one of the older ones that's on its way out. But really cute splash on its leaves. Look at that one. And each leaf comes in different. That's why I really like it. This one's a little deformed, I think, due to underwatering. That's one thing I've noticed with this little plant, is that it is very thirsty, but I haven't wanted to repot it until I saw roots, and I can see one root coming out at the bottom. So I wanted to establish a really good root system, kind of similar to the Alocasia fredda, and then I will upsize it. That way it just keeps on focusing, you know, on putting out foliage instead of roots. I think it's going to take off here pretty soon, especially with, well, it's actually getting colder for right now, but it's going to get cold for like a few weeks, and then we'll get into springtime because, as I mentioned, I do live in California and it's pretty warm here. And today is probably like the coldest day that we've had in some time since we've been in winter. But yeah, I'm super excited. Oh, she's just so cute. Okay. The next plant I have is a begonia. This is the begonia listata, I want to say it's pronounced. I'll leave the spelling for you guys on the screen. But she's just a tiny little plant here that isn't doing so well, not gonna lie. So she keeps putting out new growth, like this one right here. And I want to say that this is part of the cane begonia family, although it looks like it is because it's all growing from one stem instead of growing new stems with the new leaf. But I love, how can you not love it? Okay, so it has this beautiful contrast between the light lime green and the dark green. And then if we look under and at the stems, it has this beautiful red back. Now, this plant is super pretty, and I can't remember how much I paid for this one in particular, but I know they're kind of still on the pricier side. So I did get a little baby one, which I'm hoping that it'll grow for me and I'll one day have a huge bushy one. But we'll see if we still have this towards the end of the year, because I am kind of struggling with them. This one lives in its own little container or cabinet, I guess you can say. I have it here on my work desk in a, well, technically it's supposed to be a lantern for candles, but I left it for this little guy here. I don't know how high the humidity is in there because the top is opened for airflow, but that's just such a pretty plant. Oh, she's fuzzy. Can you guys see the fuzz on the plant? Can you see it? It's got little fuzzy leaves. I hope you guys can see that, which I did not know that this plant was fuzzy. So she's real cute. I like her a lot, but I would eventually like to get at least a bigger size plant, maybe like the size of this one, which I'm starting to realize I don't do very well with cane begonias. So we'll see how that goes. This next plant is a syngonium. This is my Syngonium wendlandii, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but oops, dropping soil. But I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to see. This plant is absolutely stunning when I do really well with it. Otherwise, it kind of looks like this. So this one is one of my trickier. Sorry, I have some suspicious spots on the back of that leaf, but maybe it's on its way out. I don't know. But this plant, when I got it from Steve's Leaves. It doesn't say, but it came with this little tag. I got it from Steve's Leaves, and it was a really big, bushy plant. It did not travel well. A lot of the leaves ended up turning like this or like this one fairly quickly. And then because it's a syngonium, I did associate its care with the other syngoniums. This one by far is more finicky. It is a velvet leaf syngonium, and I've noticed that with this one, it likes a lot of water. So I actually want to switch its pot. I want to take it out of terracotta and put it in something in either like porcelain or ceramic. I think it's ceramic, right? They don't sell porcelain. In like a ceramic pot. But if you look, it has a ton. Okay, is it focusing? I hope it is. Okay, if you can see on the stem, it has a lot of tiny little growth points where it can continue to grow leaves. And that's kind of what it did over here. It had a little growth point and put out this tiny leaf here. I know they say that when it comes off funky like that, it's probably because it has pests, but I mean, I don't see anything on it. So that's why I was looking at it, kind of looks suspicious because it does have some little spots. So I'll take this plant under a microscope soon. But the reason, I think I've cut this plant back maybe twice already. When I first got it, it was really huge, and a lot of the leaves did start to die off, kind of like this one is. And it was due to the transportation and lack of watering on my end, since I did associate it as another or regular syngonium. But anyways, I want to basically get this plant big, full, and bushy again. At least bushy, even if it's not tall, just I want a big bush of a plant. I guess it has potential with all the little growth points that it's putting out. So my goal is to hopefully have a much fuller Syngonium wendlandii or wendlandi. I'm not sure how we pronounce it, but very, very pretty plant. And as you can see, the leaves, when healthy, are very stunning. I just like that beautiful contrast between the silver and the dark velvety green. Very pretty plant. Okay, the last one I have is also a begonia. This is my begonia burke dark form. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. I'll leave the spelling for you guys to see. I did chop it back because it did have also some suspicious leaves. I did mention this in one of my other videos. I don't know which one's going to go up first. It had some like lining stressing on the leaves. Maybe I'll put in a clip. But this plant, again, it's another velvety begonia. This one's not non-fuzzy, but it has like these beautiful velvety green, which the camera's not doing its justice. It has like a dual chrome type of effect. Like the leaf is green, but when you turn it, it can kind of look blue, it can kind of look purple, and then it has these beautiful, just beautiful dark red backs. It's such a beautiful plant. I also got this from Steve's Leaves, and this one was in a really good size when I got it, but as I mentioned, I did chop it back to get rid of those leaves because it did to me look like it was like spider mite damage, although when I investigated it indicated that it was due to inconsistent watering, which I have been doing. So I would like to just get this full and pretty again, and hopefully we'll be able to see that all these plants are where I want them to be at the end of the year. Okay, so that's basically my top plants or house plants for the year, and we'll kind of see where they're at towards the end of the year. Hopefully that they're all here and have hopefully made it fairly close to their goal, if not actually met the goal that I have in place for myself to get them there. Of course, all of our plants grow based off of the care that we give them, so that's what I'm hoping for. So basically, I just want bushy plants. My husband always laughs when I say that for obvious reasons, but that's what I like. I like really full, bushy plants. I'm not too particular as far as like all of them having to be cosmetically pretty, but as long as I have a majority healthy, just full plant, then I'm happy. But yeah, that's it. As Not Dude had said, or Adam, who's known as Not Dude, aka Not Dude, had said it's really fun to watch these videos and see what people like in their collection. Of course, my favorites do change based off of how well my plants are doing, but it will be interesting to see where they're at towards the end of the year. And then see if maybe they're still within the top 5, right? Because as I mentioned, it does change. And this is not to say that my other houseplants aren't my favorites too. I actually kind of say that they're all my favorites, but these are the ones I think that have been keeping me happy for a while. And the ones that I notice, even though they're struggling, time and time again, I keep trying just to get them happy because I truly do enjoy having them in my collection. But yeah, that's basically it. I would love to know what you like in your collection if you're a houseplant collector as well, or a houseplant enthusiast, whatever you call yourself. I would say I'm both a collector and an enthusiast. But yeah, leave me some comments down below on what your top 5s are and where you see your plant collection going towards the end of the year. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Kind of post about a lot of planty content and some makeup content, as this used to be primarily a beauty channel. As you can tell, I love makeup, so I am trying to use that, and I feel holding myself accountable is creating content on here and posting that. That's not your cup of tea though, I do understand. I do have other videos that I post based off of plants, so I hope that you join the community anyways. But yeah, I talk too much. I'm so awkward. Okay, yeah, just give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, hit that little notification bell so you don't miss any new videos here on my channel, and that's basically it. Until next time, bye!